Sunday morning, going for a ride. It's a few days past the solstice in 2022. Ordinarily tomorrow I'd be flying to the Tour de France because that's what I did for 23 years. Just a couple of days in advance of the tour I'd set off and then go and report on a bike race in summer for a month instead. I'm going to be stuck in winter and I'm going to be just riding my bike and enjoying myself. There's glorious conditions outside, the sun is coming up, there's been stars in the sky, there's zero wind. Yesterday's conditions were magic, absolutely magic. And I said to my wife, if it's like it was on Saturday, I'm going for at least 5 hours on Sunday. So that's the plan. I'm going north, that's pretty much the only direction I've got. And everything else will just sort of come to mind as it happens. I'm riding these, maybe for the last time in a little while. I've just given the cleats a little clean. And in a little while, I'm going to put some new cleats on a different pair of shoes and I'm going to start a product testing routine, ideally, all going well. And I'll tell you about it as it unfolds. Right now, I'm sort of getting ready for another story of my ride on a Sunday on my own. We'll see what comes of this ride. If it's interesting, you'll be watching this because I've decided that I'll share it with you. Okay. If you have any comments, bang them in down below. And if you like it, give me one of them, like by clicking it, and then I'll see it. And then I'll keep doing what I do. I don't know where any of that came from. I just sort of sat down and thought I'll tell you that I'm going for a bike ride. I am. See ya. Sunday morning, not tears, just a little bit of influence of the mildly cooled conditions, and I just got the ride started, evidently. That's what my Wahoo Element Bolt told me. I'm about to replace that. Just going to try and consider a few things that I'm going to switch around in the next little while. One of them is my cycle computer, the one that I've used for the last quite a while. This is the new version. The Wahoo Element Bolt, love it. Been familiar with it. Not a hugely tech savvy person. In other words, I sort of get the preferences that I like and just stick with it. I don't switch it around very much. But I'm going to switch it to a Giant Dash. And if you bought the Tour de France guide, official Tour de France guide, on sale in Australia right now, jump to the Giant ad, or the Dash ad, it's a computer ad, and scan the QR code and have a look at the film. I'm just suggesting you do it because it's funny. It's actually some cycling promotion that's very clever, funny, and informative. It's probably about 2.5 minutes long from memory, and it made me giggle. Maybe it will you too. Anyway, that's one thing that's coming up. Oof, thought I'd reference that before I forget. Lots of other things to say for another time in another location. Sunday morning, streets are clear, not a tradie in sight. Not that I don't like tradies, it's just that they share the early morning routine of getting up and getting on the roads, and sometimes they're not all that considerate. There it is again, whatever that building is. You know what's next, tunnel, wolf. Tell you something after that, okay? You know what? New wheels too. And I put them on yesterday. I've been deliberating because I wanted it to be pristine conditions when I first took these out. Check these little puppies out, they're absolutely magic. A little dark still, but trust me, when you see them in the flesh, you will just be like, oh, you're lucky, Rob. You know why I'm lucky? Because they're freaking expensive and I've got them on my bike and I didn't pay for them. In other words, it's a review pair. Princeton Carbonworks, forget the name of the actual model, but I can tell you, it's hard keeping up. They are super fast. Like, they sound terrific, and maybe it's the audible cue that I'm getting, but I just feel like, whoa, the bike's getting away from me. Like, seriously, magic. I'll show you again with the city in the background, okay? You're getting them? You see what I'm talking about? Aren't they beautiful? Sorry, I haven't got a real telescopic grip on this GoPro, but I was just trying to show you my beautiful wheels. I'll show you more when the sun really gets up in the sky, okay? It's a little bit strange for me today because I got this song in my head and I don't know who sings it. I don't know the words. I sort of vaguely know the tune and I'm trying to make things up as I go along. It's not working out for me. Who cares? Pretty nice light, but I've got so many other things to talk about that you can just take in the sunrise. I won't tell you about it, and you can just sort of have your own thoughts about it, and I'll talk about other things, like my bloody beautiful wheels, and the bunch of bike riders that are ahead of me going really quite slow. Uh-oh. Just a little deviation for a little product photography with a scenic background. Here's the scenic background. Got some tourists taking in the view. And now I'm going to show you my beautiful wheels. You ready? I'll tell you more when I know more, but what I can say now, these wheels really bloody fast. So, could be that by utter coincidence, I get a few Strava records or PBs or whatever today, because I don't have much puff, but I've got bloody great equipment. I think I've filmed this hundreds of times, and I still think it's magic every time I do it. When I was a young man, I used to think driving across the Harbour Bridge would be the most amazing thing you could possibly do, because I didn't live in Sydney and I only saw it in pictures. Anyway, isn't it amazing how things evolve and you can do the things that you dreamed of doing? Poof. Wow, no need for that little camera light anymore, is there? Poof. Hey. A little sporting story as I go nearby, I think, the start line of the Sydney Olympics Marathon, which was more or less here somewhere. Little sad story I noticed yesterday. So, for 22 years, or almost, there's been a line on the road at Driver Avenue in Moore Park, which highlights where Leontien van Moorsel won the road race and where Jan Ulrich you know, like did what he did, led people across a finish line. Anyway, that finish line has now been covered up with new bitumen. Like, it was only, like, it was a tiny little bit of sporting nostalgia for me, and now it's gone because there's a big new stadium and they had to put a little bit of new bitumen out the front of it. Anyway, if that makes sense, cool. The time has come. I bumped them on. Sorry if you see the camera in the reflection. That's one of the reasons I sort of haven't worn these bloody beautiful glasses a hell of a lot, but whatever. I think, you know, it's not like I've got a cameraman floating around with me, so you know it's me and my GoPro on a selfie stick, so now you can see it. Hey? Military Road, Cremorne, no traffic. Party time. Red light, of course, but terrific mood and green light. Life's good. Let's move. Spit Bridge. I feel like I've got to say that a few times just in case my foreign friends think that I'm mispronouncing it. No, it is Spit. S-P-I-T Bridge. Bad name, great area. Isn't that lovely? Here's a famous name. I was oscillating. Coast Road, Wakehurst Parkway. Coast Road, Wakehurst Parkway. Wakehurst Parkway 1. And I'll probably come back the Coast Road, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. If you see that street like that, void of traffic, you could assume that the pandemic is back and we're in lockdown, because this is always busy, except for right now. So happy days. That's pretty impressive, and I just hope it's utilised, because it's a huge amount of investment for only a few people who get to use it. And then you get on this bus lane, which just vanishes, and then you go down this dipper, and then I suggest you maintain some momentum because there's a bit of a pinch on the other side. So up until now, we can call it the commute, and now the fun begins because I'm at Coringo Chase National Park, Terry Hills. Woohoo! Party time. Good times. Good times. Bike riders everywhere. It's pretty obvious there's been something on here this morning. Bloody bike riders everywhere, heaps with TT helmets on, and they probably all want these wheels. I'd have filmed more, but I got problems with this GoPro battery, seriously. There was a bird frenzy there, so I just eased off. Came down that hill, I must have seen, just from, I don't know, Tempo to the turn to West Head on McCarrs Creek Road, I think I saw about 300 bike riders on a very little stretch of road. Holy dooly, there are lots of people.